रहमान रहीम, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. जो सिंध में भी हले पियो अंग्रेजी मिले पियो, तो पापा ही जिते अंग्रेजी ज़रूरत हुई अंग्रेजी में ॻाल्हाए तो सिंधी में ॻाल्हाए। इनफैक्ट जेको मूंखे टॉपिक ॾोरियो आहे त पहिरियों ई मां प्रेसिडेंट सिंधियन या चेयरमैन सिंधियन राजू साहब ॿियनि ऑफिस बैरन जो पढ़ाईंदो आहियां जंहिं मूंखे मौक़ो ॾिनो पंहिंजी ख़्यालात इज़हार करण लाइ। ऐं मूंखे जेको टॉपिक एलोकेट कयो वियो आहे उहो आहे कोटा सिस्टम ऐं उनजी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन गवर्नमेंट ऐं कॉर्पोरेशन। मुंहिंजी तकरीर या जेको प्रेजेंटेशन जो जेको फॉर्मेट हूंदो पहिरियों ब्रीफली मां बैकग्राउंड टच कंदुसि। कोटा जो बैकग्राउंड छा आहे, ट्रेजर सिस्टम छा आहे, उनजो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन छा थी रही आहे, इशूज़ कहिड़ा आहिनि ऐं कुझु सजेशन। छो जो हिते काफ़ी रिटायर्ड ब्यूरोक्रेट्स वेठा आहिनि, प्रोफेसर वेठा आहिनि, जेका नई ॻाल्हि न हूंदी जेका मां चवंदुसि उन लाइ शायदि थी सघे थो नई ॻाल्हि न हुजे, पर कुझु माण्हू अहिड़ा बि आहिनि हिते वेठा आहिनि कुझु नई ॻाल्हि। तव्हांखे ख़बर हूंदी त ब्रिटिश इंडिया में कोटा सिस्टम कोन हुयो। ब्रिटिश इंडिया में रिजर्वेशन ऑफ स्कीम्स हुई। रिजर्वेशन स्कीम्स छा हुई? It was not based on area. It was based on castes and classes of society. Like untouchables, scheduled caste system, your scheduled tribes, backward classes like some Muslims, then after that special backward classes. The basis basically those sections of society which were socially, economically and educationally backward. In order to provide protection to those segments of society, they had reserved seats in jobs, in educational institutions, and in the legislative assemblies. The same system was also adopted by Indian states, which were called princely states. And then later on, they also included women, ex-servicemen, and handicapped. When Pakistan came into being, the first time in the history, then on 29th June 1948, they announced the quota system. What was that? They reserved 85% to the people who had domicile of Pakistan. Those were the part of Pakistan. And they allocated 15% to those who had no domicile of Pakistan. The 15% was allocated for the people who had to migrate from India. So this is very important point. To start with, 15% was allocated for them. And then the rest were allocated like East Bengal 42%, West Punjab and Bahawalpur 24%, Karachi 2%, Sindh, Khairpur, NWP and frontier states, tribal areas, Balochistan, and states and tribal areas 17%. Another point to be noted is separate quota for Karachi. Right from the beginning, 1948, Karachi had the separate quota for the jobs. Now, 15% and the 2%. Now you can imagine, 17% were allocated for the people who had migrated. Then, this percentage was for the officers, the CSS officers. And for the ministerial staff, they allocated East Bengal 50%, West Punjab and Bahawalpur 28%, Karachi again 2%, Sindh, Khairpur, NWP and frontier states and tribal areas, Balochistan and states 20%. Now again, in October 1950, they revised the percentage of the quota. Now, instead of 15% for the people who had no devisal, now they made merit 20%. East Bengal 40%, they reduced 2%. Punjab and Bahawalpur 23%, they reduced 1%. Karachi again same 2%. Sindh, Khairpur and others 15%, they reduced from 20% to 15%. So 5% less for the people of Sindh, Balochistan and the tribal areas. Now, the seats which were reserved to be filled through quota was in all Pakistan from 16 to 22 grade. At that time there was no grade, but subsequently there was grade. It was made for all Pakistan. Then from 3 to 15% in the secretariat, it was made for all of Pakistan, and the organizations falling in different provinces and regions, they were made eligible for jobs in the basic scales 3 to 15. And again, for basic scale 1 to 2, there was condition for the secretariat that only people from local people, which means from Islamabad and Rawalpindi, were made eligible for jobs in grade 1 and 2. Although it was a Pakistan secretariat, it was a federal secretariat, it should have been for whole of Pakistan, but they limited to 1 and 2 grade 2, Islamabad and Karachi. As a result, the people from Azad Kashmir and NWP and Northern Punjab benefited, and they got the fake domiciles of Islamabad and Rawalpindi, and they got the jobs. Now comes 1973. This quota system continued during the Constitution of 1956 and 1962, and during the Yahya Khan, this is also allowed to continue. But when after the dismemberment of East Pakistan, People's Party came into power, they introduced a new system of quota in the federal government services, and here, this is very important that I must have been point out here. The Article 27 of 93 Constitution says, no citizen otherwise qualified for appointment in the service of Pakistan shall be discriminated against in respect of any such appointment on the ground only of race, religion, caste, sex, residence, or place of birth. According to this clause, article, quota system is not to be introduced. It should be all of Pakistan. But they also inserted Article 27, provided that for a period not exceeding 40 years from commencing date, posts may be reserved for persons belonging to any class or areas to secure their adequate representation in the services of Pakistan. Now, according to this clause, the quota system was introduced in 1973, and the period was specified 40 years. Now, 40 years, if we calculate from 73, has already expired in 2013. If we calculate from the date of issuance of the notification, which was issued on 14th August 1974, it expired in 2014. As of today, there is no constitutional provision under which quota system exists. What happened? Some people went to the Islamabad High Court and challenged that since the period of quota has expired and the allocation is still being made on the announced percentage of quota, it should be generated. This Islamabad High Court gave judgment in their favor. Against that judgment, the government of Pakistan went to the court, a Supreme Court, and they got a stay order. So now we are continuing on a stay order.
From 14.
So the second thing in this is very important, that when we discuss certain public representatives and we tell them that quota system is over, please do something, they say 40 years have passed and now I can't do anything. So this is the major issue that we have to address. So I will come later on. Now, in 1973, the quota system which was introduced, the bifurcation was like this. Merit quota 10%, which was then reduced in 2007, 7.5. Punjab, including federal area of Islamabad, 50%. This is again a relevant point to note. That when capital was Karachi, the 2% quota was separate. But when the capital was Islamabad, their quota is included in Punjab. There are no separate quota for Islamabad. When the allocation is made, it's for the whole of Punjab. Why not separate quota for Islamabad? So it means Karachi was kept separately since 1950, 1948. This is very important. And the Punjab, including federal area of Islamabad, 50%, Sindh, 19%. That's the present position. Now at the moment we are holding. Share of Sindh is further divided into urban and rural. Rural is 11.4, the urban is 7.6, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa 11.5, Balochistan, which was 3.5 and increased 2007 6%, Gilgit-Baltistan 4, Azad 52%. Now, if we look at the implementation of the quota system, there is no doubt that the number of employees from Sindh has increased, but the percentage of quota which should have been is not up to the maximum. So I give you figures. So you please note. In the Federal Secretariat, the Federal Secretariat and State Department, the subordinate office, the total sanction strength is 6,60,657. Out of that, 5,81,240 is filled, and the vacant posts are 79,417. Now I give you the overall picture. Against 19% quota, these are the figures of July 2018. These are latest figures because these figures were compiled by the Civil Division of Pakistan. Against 19%, Sindh got 13.92. Against rural areas quota of 11.4, we got 7.37. Against urban quota of 7.6, they got 6.56. The difference in urban is very little, but in rural areas, margin is bigger. I have also calculated that from BS 17 to 22, the percentage is 12.5 for whole of Sindh, for rural 8.33, and for urban 4.17. For BS 22, which is the total number is 96 in the Federal Secretariat. Out of 96, Sindh had 22 officers. Sindh rural has 8.33%. Urban had 4%, 4 persons, and the percentage 4.17. So this is the position that although the quota system is in existence, but we could not benefit 100%. So what are the reasons? The reasons are manifold. So the first issue is quality of education. We have been discussing here the governance, economic problems. Unless quality education is improved, we cannot fully benefit out of the quota system. The reason is that our students, our candidates do appear in CS examination and other jobs, but the required level is not that they should take full benefit out of that. And this quality education, we haven't been able to maintain it due to criminal negligence on the part of ruling elite. When I say ruling elite, it includes civil servants, military bureaucracy, politicians, management of the education institutions, teachers, and parents too. Because cheating culture, copy culture, they are also instrumental in that. The society as a whole, we have to look into this, how to work on this problem. Then the third is implementation of quota system, and it's too later in its stage. There we are talking of representation of all federated units. But when we look at the quota system, Sindh, Balochistan is underrepresentation, and while Punjab and KPK have overrepresentation. They have exceeded their quota because they have fully benefited out of this quota system. So it means there is some problem also in the implementation. The second is the lack of representation at senior level and the secretary level. If we don't have federal secretary level enough officers at the Islamabad or additional secretary level, then the lower staff can also manipulate while making appointments. Because you have to calculate the available vacancies, and then they have the guts to manipulate. And then they always try to allocate less number of seats to Sindh than to other provinces, especially Punjab and KPK. Then we have public sector enterprises. There are 203 public sector organizations. So let me also give you the public sector, how much is the system. We Sindh overall is 21.6%, but rural is only 10.2%, and the urban is 11.4%. Public sector organizations, which will talk of corporations, companies, authorities. The urban area has overrepresentation, while rural area has underrepresentation. Why? Because head of the institutions and the members of the board of these organizations do not have enough representation from Singapore. So we have to look into that. Then now this quota system has expired and the constitutional position is ambiguous. We have to have experts of legal profession, constitutional experts, to consult what to do next so that it doesn't go in reform. Future of quota system, because the government has looked other way, and there are two opinions. Some people say it must continue because we have not enough representation, we are underrepresented. Some people say we have already utilized 40 years to have our proper representation, so we must forget about quota system. But now I leave up to the House what to do, because if the present system does not continue, the Sindh, which has improved in getting jobs in the federal government and public sector organizations, will suffer badly. So we have to do something about that. Now there is one silver lining which we back upon. That is 18th Amendment. In 18th Amendment, there are provisions provision inserted in the Article 27 and 28th Amendment provided also that under application of any clause or area in the service of Pakistan may be redressed in such a manner as may be determined by an act of Majlis Shura. Since we have calculated that we are underrepresented and we haven't got enough representation in federal government jobs and federal public operations, we must take up this issue and lobby for that so that this issue is addressed under this law. And the second is again enable the people of different areas through education, training, agricultural and industrial development and other methods to participate fully in all forms of national activities including employment and social of Pakistan. Have we provided adequate education? Have we raised the standard of living of people in rural areas? Or the poverty level has further gone down in rural areas? If this provision of the Constitution of Pakistan has not been fulfilled, we have a strong case to address this. That's why now the suggestions will be, let us form a team of experts to study the position of quota system at present, recommend the Constitution of Commission. We should look into why Sindh did not get proper representation in the jobs. 3, federal government should order establish a union to prepare a roster since 1973 about the job allocation and jobs and recruitment. And the next is continuation of quota system for another 20 years. And dialogue with other stakeholders about the continuation of quota system and lobbying for this purpose through various means. So it is not necessary that the present quota system may continue in the present form. It may have different form. Maybe some, like in India, they call creamy layer, which means the people, the sons of haves are not entitled to reserve seats. Only the lower caste people are entitled to have the jobs or reserve seats in the jobs. So in Pakistan, we can also study what type of quota system we can have in future, because if we insist the present continuation of the present quota system, we may not get support from Punjab or even urban areas of Sindh. Thanks very much.